From Lady Gaga and Madonna to Tom Cruise and Spike Lee, the stars are acting up in the headlines this week.
Always. And here with their take on this week's hottest highlights in our weekly roundup is the founder of MediaTakeout.com, Fred Mwangaghunga, and PR and brand strategist, Rhonda Ridley. Welcome.
Hi, guys.
Hi.
Welcome to the show.
Thank you.
Dapper.
Yes,
And divine.
And divine.
All right, so let's kick off the party.
Yes, we have to talk about Alec Baldwin. He was having these crocodile tears on the witness stand.
Don't leave the
Yeah.
witnesses.
Okay,
We
sorry.
don't know.
Yes.
Yes.
He was crying on the witness stand
Yeah,
when
right.
testifying about this stalker that was after him. Now, do you think he was just exhibiting his acting abilities?
That's a possibility. There's a possibility. I think there's also some sort of relationship that may have taken place that he's
Well.
trying to cover up right now.
Well.
And this is giving him the best environment to do that in. Calling her a stalker and then not allowing her to be able to say, we were in love. And then he met her.
I mean, that's right. The judge actually spoke on this. They said that they're not going to talk specifically on the whether or not they had a relationship.
Right.
They talked about the stalking that happened afterwards. But the more and more you look at it, it's starting to look like one of those fatal attractions.
Yeah.
The two of them, Alec Baldwin admitted that he went on a date with her on Valentine's Day. Of course, he says it's friendly, but who goes on a date on Valentine's Day? And he was with his wife.
At the time.
Yeah. So he was stepping out on Hilaria,
You know.
allegedly.
Right.
So of
Allegedly.
course he has to cover his
Of
tracks.
course, absolutely.
Of course he has to call the other girl crazy.
But he is in his right to say, okay, now leave me alone.
That's
Yeah,
true.
that's
And she's not abiding by that. And that's what makes her a stalker.
But then again, when you look at Alec Baldwin and what he's doing, I mean, he looks like a crazy guy, right? So, you know, it's hard to really take what he's saying completely serious.
So are you saying crazy loves crazy? Is that what
Right.
you're saying?
Yeah. Absolutely.
That's crazy.
Absolutely.
That's very interesting. Okay, so do you think this sentence was too harsh? I mean, she's going to be spending basically all of next year in prison.
Well, I actually don't. I mean, look, she could have gotten up to a year. The judge gave her 6 months. And the woman, after she got 6 months, she couldn't shut up so much that the judge gave her an extra month.
Right.
So, I mean,
Right.
this is a person that wants to be in prison. Right?
She wants to be in prison. She wants attention. You know, there's a lot going on with her. And do I think it's a long time? I don't think it's a long time. There's a reason why Halle Berry and all these folks are either, you know, going to court about paparazzi or stalker. There are celebrities who've been killed by stalkers.
Yeah, that's true.
This is serious.
But she didn't boil anybody's bunny.
Not yet. She couldn't get up in the apartment.
But she tried. She tried. So that's a good point.
She went to the doorman.
Well,
It's like we're having rabbits for dinner tonight. Rabbits on the menu.
well, speaking of people trying to get some attention, let's talk about Miley Cyrus. 'Cause
Oh, yes. Miley.
She's in the headlines again for being naked again,
Yeah.
this time in Future's video.
Yeah.
And she also smoked weed.
Yeah.
Put joint right on the
Yeah.
stage at
Yeah.
the EMA Awards.
Yeah.
I mean, check this out. We've got, look at this.
You know, I couldn't fit this award in my bag, but I did find this. So thank you guys very much. Good night, everybody. Thank you. EMAs, thank you for having me. I love y'all so much.
Okay, so is this girl?
I'm sorry. I love her.
Oh my, well, what are you? Is she out of control, or is she just addicted to this media attention?
Her mother's out of control because her mother is with her everywhere she goes.
Okay.
So her mother knows everything she's going to do before she does it.
Okay.
And I think her mother helps contribute. It's almost like that Kris Kardashian, Kim Kardashian, Khloe Kardashian, and Kourtney Kardashian kind of thing that's happening with her now. Her mom is going, okay, that's going to get your attention. Do that.
Yeah.
Just do that.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm not
so
gonna
what's
talk
wrong
about,
with that?
I mean, I'm not talking about her mama.
Getting her paid. She's getting her paid.
It's working.
Well, I mean,
At what price, though, people? Come on.
She's not drunk driving. She's not doing hard drugs. She's not harming anybody. She's
What's
not
the
even
gateway to the
harming
hard
herself.
drugs, though? What is the gateway to the hard drugs? What she just did.
Hanging out with Charlie Sheen.
They're very true. Very true.
I mean, I can't say enough about Miley Cyrus. I mean, she's managed to get herself in the public eye, but when you look at how she's done it, it's one gimmick after another gimmick. It's just, she's ratchet, she's smoking weed, she's doing all this other stuff.
Yeah,
It's
she's
this is a woman that has talent, right? Like, you listen to her songs,
Yes.
it's actually something. And when you just wrap yourself up in a bunch of gimmicks like this, it's like a bubble, and the bubble will at some point burst,
Yeah.
and we'll be
Yeah.
sick of her.
So do you
Yeah.
think she would be as successful by just using her voice as her talent, or gotta
No.
show it all the package?
No, I think
No.
she's, I mean, think about it. I mean, she's a huge, I mean, there are millions and millions of young women that grew up on Miley Cyrus. They're now
They
in
grew
their
up on
20s.
Hillary Duff too. Where's Hillary Duff?
But she's making good music.
Not showing her
when she's
body.
making good, she has good producers. I mean, that
Yeah.
song Wrecking Ball is good. I mean,
Yeah.
she's got that new song with Future.
But
So
that's why I
she's
don't-
making hits.
And that's why I don't mind what she's doing as much, because she's actually talented. If she wasn't talented and she just had the gimmicks, then I'd be more concerned.
If she was trying to cover up the non-talent,
But
the
I'm
gimmicks,
concerned
yeah.
with
But
the
she
fact
can
that the
sing.
gimmicks are out there far more than her music a lot of the times. And that's what we
true.
end up talking about. We don't talk about her music. We talk about what she's doing and what she's done and how crazy she looks doing it.
And the
That's
thing that
true.
concerns a lot of people also is that their children, the Miley Cyrus
Yes,
fans
they're
and
following
Hannah
that.
Montana fans,
Yes.
will try to emulate that.
Right.
Raise
That's
your own kids.
Right?
Miley is not a parent.
Well, that's true.
Raise your own kids.
But you know what? We know that when we put folks out like that, folks are going to follow them,
All
emulate
right.
them. They are
All right.
examples.
Moving right along. Another woman who can't keep her clothes on, Lady Gaga.
Never.
Yes, but this time she's actually going after Madonna. You got to take a listen.
So when Madonna, I think Madonna's jealous of you in a weird way. Do you agree with that statement? I think that you have the spotlight now. You have the 40 million Twitter followers. You're selling all these records. You're going out on big tours. You're this sort of outrageous
But
one.
you're
the artist.
also like the pop artist.
Right.
You
Do
know,
you-
that's what she was.
Don't
You know,
you
I
think-
don't
She
know.
knocks you, I feel. Doesn't she?
Well, I mean, I don't. It's. I mean, there's not so many ways that you can interpret it. I guess you know. I mean, you could look at it that way, but to me, honestly, I think she's more aggravated that I'm not upset that she doesn't like me,
Right.
because I don't care that she doesn't
It
like me.
doesn't get to you.
No, I don't care.
She doesn't care.
I don't blame her. I don't blame her.
So is Madonna jealous?
I don't know if Madonna is jealous. I know Madonna needs to stay in the spotlight as well. And what better way to do that than to attach yourself to someone who's already out there, who kind of, has been doing what you did in your day. This is Gaga's spotlight. This is Gaga's time
So are
right
you
now.
saying that she should go after Gaga for her statements or try to collaborate with her on an album?
It'd be smart to probably collaborate, but
Not gonna
I don't
happen.
think it's not going to happen. Because Madonna's not giving up that spotlight.
No.
Madonna's not giving up that spotlight, number one. Number two, I love the fact that Gaga is just like, I don't care. I don't care.
Isn't that the best way
That's
to get to
absolutely
somebody?
yes.
If you act like they're
Don't give in.
irrelevant.
That's right.
Yeah, but I mean,
Fred, what do you think?
It's not like Madonna has no grounds for what she's talking about. I mean, when you listen to her song "Born This Way," which is one of her biggest songs, and "Express Yourself," that is the exact same
It's the
song.
same
I mean,
song.
when you look at even Lady Gaga, you look at her fan base, heavily gay men. She is Madonna. She's been taking on and borrowing a lot of what Madonna was doing. And as Madonna's not dead. I mean, she's still out there. She's still making music. She's still on a world tour.
No,
MDNA,
you're right.
it's a big tour.
A really high grossing
Right.
world
So
tour
I
at
mean,
that.
absolutely.
if you have someone out there that's basically co-opting your style and putting it out there, as Madonna, she's a proud person, proud woman. She's over there and she's standing up. And I think in her defense, it seems to make a lot of sense.
Well, if Madonna does come after Gaga, she can take off in this dress. Check this. This is Volantis. Her new dress that she just unveiled.
Volantis. Maybe there's only room for one diva on this planet.
Oh, that's
so
true.
Madonna can have Earth,
Right.
And she can go
and
in
she
outer
can
space.
fly, take Volantis to outer space.
Well, she's actually going to be doing a concert in outer
she is.
space.
Yes,
now,
she is.
Now, if you had the money, would you go up there and, see the concert?
Not interested.
Well, actually, her concert is not going to be in outer space. Gaga is going in space, and she's going to beam her vocals down to
Yeah.
us Earthlings.
Beam her
He said
vocals
us,
down.
Earthlings.
Oh my God! After I saw that Gravity movie, I was like, not interested in going to outer
Not,
space.
not interested at all.
Don't want to get stuck out
Nope,
there.
I'm fine. I'm fine right here.
I think Tom Cruise may want to go to outer space.
Yeah.
He put his foot in his mouth.
Yes, he did.
He sure did. I mean, he compared acting to a tour in Afghanistan. That's a bit of a stretch.
Yeah,
Some
I mean-
hyperbole there, don't you think?
Yeah, I mean,
What was he
Problematic.
thinking?
The thing about it is, Tom Cruise has been historically he's been able to control the media, right? But now he's in the midst of a lawsuit and he's being deposed by In Touch and Life and Style.
Right.
So they're now able, In Touch and Life and Style would love to be able to ask Tom Cruise all kinds of questions. They never had the opportunity to. Now, under deposition, under oath, they're able to ask Tom Cruise all kinds of questions. You get to see a lot of the wacky crazy person outside of him. And it's coming out there, it's coming out, there's a sworn testimony, and the more that we learn about him, the more that you just say, what the heck is wrong with this guy?
Yeah.
And here's the thing, you know that because Tom Cruise brought the lawsuit. So when you bring a lawsuit like that, you know
prepared.
that you're opening yourself
That's right.
up
That's
to
right.
scrutiny,
That's
and you
right.
are, by law, forced to answer those questions.
Exactly.
So why would he do that?
I don't think he thought that he would be the focus at that point. I think he thought, I'm Tom Cruise, I'm bringing this lawsuit, that's what matters most. But when you open your mouth and you compare something as less dynamic as
when you compare
acting to being
like
at
fighting
war, you
in
can't do that.
Afghanistan.
You cannot do that. There's no comparison. The sentence shouldn't even come out of his mouth. But at the end of the day, we do, like Fred said, we do get to see that wackiness that really kind of makes up who he is, which we saw back in the day when he was on Oprah, jumping on the couch and acting up, and so we've seen that for a very long time, and we shouldn't be surprised by a lot of what he says. But Mark Wahlberg was really offended
we
by
actually
what
have
he
a clip
said.
of what he
Yeah,
said.
he was really offended.
I think we have a clip.
Let's see what he had to say.
For actors to sit there and talk about, went to SEAL training and I slept on them. I don't give a what you did. You don't do what these guys do. You just don't. For somebody to sit there and say, well, my job is as difficult as somebody in the military, how dare you? Or you sit in a makeup chair for 2 hours and I don't give a get busted and you get to go home at the end of the day.
Wow, he made some really good points there.
He did.
So what did you think? Is he right?
He's absolutely
Okay.
right. You do get to go home at the end of the day after coming off set. You can't you don't have that choice in the middle of war.
Yeah,
You don't have that choice.
Playing war is not the same
not
as
reality.
being in a war.
Absolutely
What do you
not.
think, Fred?
I mean, like I said, he's just a crazy person. I mean, he's jumping on
Couches.
yeah, jumping, and when you hear him, and not only that, I mean, they also asked him about his how he trained for Mission Impossible Part 3.
Yeah.
And he said, well, I actually am more in shape than an Olympic sprinter. The guy is a nut job, and the more that he opens his mouth and the more that stuff comes out, the more that you really realize how crazy this man is.
He sounds really narcissistic.
You took the words right out of my mouth.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
Well, here, you can have him back. Go ahead.
Okay. We'll co-join them.
Right. I mean, you think about it too. I mean, he became his star when he was a teenager. He's been in Hollywood
For a long time.
and he's been at the top of Hollywood for like 25 years.
That's true.
His mind is in a different place.
Yeah.
So you think
And
the
his head is
Hollywood
really big.
liberties got to him? I can say whatever I want to say, do what I want to do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
Very good
For
point.
sure.
All right, well, hopefully he clears up this bad press soon. And speaking of bad press, Spike Lee recently just got some.
yes.
Because, he's being sued by a couple that received death threats because during the Trayvon Martin case, he was texting out his
couple's
George
address.
Zimmerman's address, thinking it was his, and it was his couple, and they've had all these death threats. Now he has apologized, gave them $10,000, and said, "I'm sorry." He thinks that's enough, but they want more money because they've been inconvenienced.
Right.
Now, do you think they should get it?
I think,
Fred is laughing.
first of all, we all need to be very careful when we retweet.
Yes.
Very true.
Very, very careful. And do I think they should get more money? I don't think they should get more money. What? But no.
Okay.
10,000's enough?
My thing is this. At the end of the day, have they been inconvenienced? Yes.
Yes.
When you talk about should he say, okay, you know what, let me relocate you, because whether they have money or not, people are going to still have that address.
Okay, Fred, you weigh in.
Absolutely not. These people do not deserve another penny. Listen, I mean, let's break down exactly.
$10,000.
Well,
That's only $5,000 after taxes.
Let's break down exactly what happened. Spike Lee, he made an idiotic retweet.
Yes.
He apologized.
Yes.
And then he offered them money. He said, here, why don't you take this $10,000 and then we're good. And they said, yeah.
They said yes.
And now they got their lawyer out there and they said, why
They're
a second.
still receiving death threats.
Well, that's I mean,
They
listen,
had to evacuate from their home for a period of time because it was too dangerous.
whether or
They're
not-
inundated with emails and all these
Yeah.
things. negative mail. I mean, come on.
But whether or not Spike Lee retweeted it, that thing was already being retweeted by millions and millions of people.
And they're attacking him because he's a celebrity.
Absolutely.
He's a celebrity.
Absolutely. And that's why you don't, I don't condone them getting more money. Because he's a celebrity, then he should be like the scapegoat? No.
I think if he'd given them 50 grand, we wouldn't be talking about this.
I
now.
think if-
he
I think if
he
they would've still
lowballed
wanted
them with
more.
$10,000.
I think if they thought that they deserved more than that, they should have said, no,
We don't want the
your
$10,000.
$10,000.
Exactly.
When you accepted his money,
Yeah,
it was
was done.
wrap.
And he didn't have to do that. He could have just said, I'm sorry, and not given him any money.
He didn't have
So,
to offer at all.
Very generous. That's all.
Exactly.
Okay.
You tweet my address, if I'm getting death threats, it's going to be a lot more than $10,000.
Right.
Lola's coming out with the
You'll
bank.
know that up front.
That's true.
You'll know
That's
they're
true.
going
I
right
went
in.
six figures.
Yeah.
0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0.
Keep adding them on.
TLC, the biopic. It was a huge hit for VH1,
Yes, it
great for
was.
TLC, but not so good for Pebbles. And now she's
Yeah.
finally speaking out and
Yeah.
saying that she was negatively portrayed,
Yeah.
wasn't accurate, and she also dropped another bombshell on Wendy Williams' show. Take a look.
Do you believe that Chili was sleeping with L.A. Reid, your husband, behind your back?
Absolutely.
Was it?
I didn't know. I suspected a couple of things, but I didn't want to believe that. And for years, I didn't want to believe that. But
Why do you believe it is true that L.A. and Chili did their thing?
I cannot tell you that, but I am going to write my book and put it in there. But believe me when I say, I saw a couple of things,
Did Left
but
Eye
I know more
and
than that.
T-Boz know that Chili was doing this?
I believe so.
Whoa. Okay, so
Yeah.
who's telling the truth here?
I don't know. I mean, there is slander being thrown
All over
everywhere.
the place.
But that's the interesting thing, right? Pebbles is basically saying that she's been slandered. She's threatening to sue VH1 and Chili and TLC. But now that she's throwing out her own slander, Chili and
Yes.
T-Boz have come
Yes.
out today and
Yeah.
they've said that they're getting slandered too.
Yep.
Their lawyers are involved.
Yeah.
And so now if there's going to be lawsuits and slander back and forth, it's going to get really ugly.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I want that lawsuit to happen. I want depositions.
I
I
wanna
want
see
to
stuff
know
too.
what
Yeah,
happened.
I want to know. Okay, so
That's what I'm talking
because
about.
they say in the movie they get $25 a week. She
Yeah,
says
I
that's
wanna
not true. Then
know.
how much was it? I want to know
And
how
she
much
won't
it was.
say. And
right.
my thing is this: if you were under confidentiality, when does that confidentiality end?
Expire,
Exactly.
When it's in
expire
her
so that we can- and that's what I'm saying. When I heard her say that,
Who's
I'm
gonna
thinking
read
it's
that
going to be in the book. I'm not reading
Yeah.
the book.
Who's gonna
'Cause I
read
don't
that?
care.
I'm reading that book.
You're going to read the book?
I'll
Research.
summarize it for you guys.
I was going to say, Fred's
I'm
going to
gonna
come back
read
into
it.
the
Yes.
Reader's Digest
Post
version
the
for us.
excerpts on Media Takeout, and I'll read it there.
Exactly. But at the end of the day, it was VH1 did say initially that it was a true story, and then they recanted and said it's not a true story. But at the end of the day, she has to understand that there were some things she did that were not. They were things that just were not right.
Right.
Okay.
And so the girls are going to be very adamant and sharing what those things were. She's going to deny them. And it's going to go back and forth for a while.
It's like one of those memory sequences you see in TV where they show this
Yeah.
person's version. This is how it happened.
Exactly.
And the whole different, the whole different version.
Everybody's got their own
I think it's somewhere
version.
in the middle. Somewhere
I
in
think
the
it's
middle.
somewhere in the
something.
middle.
But listen, did Chili sleep with LA or not? Do you
that's-
believe Pebbles?
You
I mean,
know-
she was very clear about the fact that she believes
wife
that Chili
always knows,
slept with her
Lola.
husband.
A wife always knows.
But think about how scandalous that would be. I mean, she would have slept with L.A. Reid and Dallas Austin, right? She's like sleeping with everybody in the crew.
And
It's not
Usher.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and Usher.
yeah.
Right. Like that is just. I mean, I would hope that it wasn't true.
But we'll keep following the story and let you know if
Exactly.
anything
Exactly.
revealed.
Fred has a soft spot for Chili.
No, he has
I'm not
a
mad at you,
soft
brother.
spot for the pretty girls.
Not mad at you.
I got a soft spot for all the TLC.
Hat to the back.
I'm right with you. I'm right with you.
Okay, Francis Bacon. His recent, was it triptych
our-
of Lucy and Freud? $142 million it sold for.
This is it's really incredible when you think about it too, because this is the biggest price paid at auction for a portrait. I mean, and this is fairly contemporary, right? We're not talking about Rembrandt. We're not talking about. We're
Right.
talking about somebody that died less than 20 years ago.
Yes,
right?
yes.
So I mean, and it's just a seismic change, I think, in the art world, right? That the more and more and the bigger prices are being paid for the contemporary art.
Okay, so last question. Was it worth it?
I think for the person who bought it, yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Fred?
Absolutely.
I mean, I don't have 142 million.
Right, exactly.
I find a lot. I can find a lot better things to do with 142 million dollars than buying 3 paintings.
All right. Well, thank you guys so much
You're
for your spin on that.
You're
I know. Definitely have to have you guys back again together.
Thank you.
All right. And now we want to know what you thought about all this week's headlines. Tweet us about it at Rise TV 360.